Okay, sir. Sir, I'm already in HSMD only.
Okay, good. Fine. So here, go to create button. You can click on create, not edit. Second one.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Now come below downside. There is
Okay.
basic data. There you have to first select the material. Remember one thing I told you yesterday. If you want to create a hazardous substance, first of all, there should be a material already available in the MM module. If there is no material, you cannot create a hazardous substance. But if you want to create a material, you can create a new material, although that material is not there in the company. But since we are using EHS module, we cannot create a material which is not there. I can only designate an already existing material as a hazardous substance. Only that I can do. So that is why here you have to select a material from the list, and then we will add other details. So select a material. Enter. Okay. So see, there are many materials here, whichever you want to assign as a hazardous substance.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Come down. Now you have to assign a country to that material.
Okay.
India and region. Okay, do one thing. Do one thing. You select some other countries, Yuvraj, because by that way I can even show you guys how to do the configuration of hazard rating.
Okay. I can choose Argentina. Okay.
No, that is also already there. Use something like Armenia or Dutch or any other country.
Oh, okay.
Bulgaria,
So Brazil I choose.
Brazil.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So in the region.
Okay. Now see, there are any regions. There is a region. You can select a region.
Okay. Bahia.
Okay. Fine. Now come down.
Okay.
See here, you have to give the description for the hazardous substance. That is only possible by using the phrases. Directly, if you try to enter the hazardous substance description, it will give error when you are trying to save it. Okay, so only phrases are allowed here. So we will leave it as of now because we don't find any phrases that have been configured. So you can leave that. Hazard rating. Hazard rating, like I already told you, what is the nature of your substance? I mean, is it flammable, explosive, poisonous, radioactive? What is the nature? That is known as hazard rating. So what it is showing here for Brazil, no values are available, and it is also asking you, do you want to maintain the entries? If you click on yes, it will directly take you to the configuration part. Okay, continue without specifying project. See, in some servers it will ask you like this, in some servers it will just say no values available. So if it is showing no values available, then you have to go to SPRO in another screen, then come to this location. See where it is highlighted here, yellow color, that line is there, na, highlighted area. So that is where you have to specify the storage hazard types. Not there on that execute button. You can close this. Okay. Okay, in your server, see, there is no storage hazard type. There are only two storage hazard types available. One is your storage class, that is a standard storage class, and then you have water hazard class. These are the only two, which is a standard provided by SAP. No other user has created any storage hazard types in your server. So what you can do here, we can create a new entry. You can create a new storage hazard type. So go to new entries. Yeah, give some name, maybe like BHT, give BHT. Okay. Storage hazard type description, Brazil, storage hazard type. Okay, press enter. Now save that, sorry, select that entire row, not save. Select that entire row, yeah. Now go to specify hazard ratings. Double click on specify hazard ratings. So under your Brazil hazard, storage hazard type, we are actually going to create different hazard ratings. Yeah. So here, go to new entries and you can start entering the different hazard ratings for your Brazil storage hazard type. So hazard rating, you can give it either numbers 1, 2, 3, or you can give alphanumerical values also. It is up to you. You can give explosive. First rating will always be explosive. Yeah. Second will be Z2 or Z12, whatever you can. You can even mention like 1.1, 1.2, like that also you can do. It's okay. Leave it. Z2. That is fine. Okay. Inflammable liquids. Z3 will be inflammable gases. Okay. Z4 can be like corrosive substances. Reactive substances next. Poisonous substances. Then you have radioactive substances. RADIO, radioactive. Radioactive. See, their A has not come. ACTIVE substances. Next, you can say others. You can mention like that. Z8 others. All the materials having any other kind of physical chemical property, you can call it as others. Okay. Now you can double save this and go to assign storage hazard to country and region. Continue. Second option, assign storage hazards. No, there below. Okay. Now go to new entries. So which is the country that now you want to create or assign to your hazardous substance? It is Brazil, right? So you have to select Brazil as the country and the region. Okay. Storage hazard type number 1. Storage hazard number 1. Okay. Now select your storage hazard type on the right hand side. Same thing, go to the second row. There also you need to select Brazil, Bahia, and storage hazard number 2. Because remember, in hazard rating there are two: hazard rating 1 and hazard rating 2. That is the reason in storage hazard also you should select 1 and 2 both. You have to assign for both of them. Okay. Okay, press enter, save. Okay, go back. Go back. Again go back. Again back. Okay, press back again. Again, one more time. Okay, when you press again to the back button, see it will take you directly again to your HSMD transaction code. Earlier, it was not giving me, see this list of store hazard types. Hazard rating was not available. Now, once you did the configuration, this is available as a list of physical chemical properties of your hazardous substances. Now you can select whichever is applicable hazard rating for your material, you can give that rating. So earlier for Brazil, there was no storage hazard type, nor there was any hazard ratings created. So whenever you find such a situation, you should go to SPRO, go to the respective configuration item, open that, and you have to do this configuration. So remember, that is why this is an important stuff. Okay, and then if this material or hazardous substance is known to cause water pollution, you can select WPC legal requirement. This is only followed in Germany, by the way. Don't think this is available in all the countries. As per German regulation only, you have to select this. In other countries, it is not applicable. And you can write the hazardous substance comment or warning messages. Again, there should be phrases available. Only then you can assign them. And then you can save this hazardous substance. That will create your hazardous substance. Yeah, it is created now. See, it is there. So this is how you have to create a hazardous substance. There is any doubt still remaining, or is it clear now? Did you understand how we created? So next time, whenever you want to create another hazardous substance and assign the same country, Brazil and Bahia as the region, at that time you don't have to do the configuration because already the configuration is available. We have already done that. But if you want to use some other country, again, let's say for example, Belgium, you want to assign the country for your material. But Belgium, we do not have any hazard ratings. No, we have not yet created. So again, what you need to do, go back to SPRO. There you have to configure the hazard rating for Belgium. Come back to this hazardous substance creation, and you need to create the hazardous substance. So that is how it is done. Okay, and this is a process for creating hazardous substance. Whereas VM01, VM02, that those transaction codes belong to SD module. Those sales and distribution people, if they want to create any hazardous material, they can create it. You can create using those transaction codes. Okay, any other doubt? Shivdeep, you understood now?
Yes, sir, got it, sir. So, and sir, what about all these four comments below? The substance comment, substance warning. So, in my server, it's showing
Yeah.
completely blank in this also.
Yeah, it is not there in see in every server. This is a common thing. Hazardous substance comment. If you go, Yuvraj, go and try to click on the drop down list. It will show that phrases are not available because the phrases have not been assigned to this hazardous substances. So in real time, what happens is they will create the phrases. Like I told in the beginning of our course, how to create the phrases. Like that, you have to create those phrases, and then you have to assign those phrases to your hazardous substances. Again, you need the help of technical consultant here. You have to take their help. You can create the phrases, that is fine. But in order to integrate those phrases here to the hazardous substance, you need to take the help of technical consultant. Okay. So hazardous substance comment means you can add some comment, like, you can say that this hazardous substance is used as a raw material. That can be a comment. Hazardous substance warning can be, uh, please do not keep it in under direct sunlight, or keep it in a cool and dry place. That can be a warning message. State of matter is whether this material is solid, liquid, or in gaseous form. What is the matter? What is the state of matter? That you have to define in the third row. And fourth is VBF means if it is a flammable liquid, then what, to which class this belongs to. Because under flammable liquids also there will be so many different types. One will be flammable liquid with corrosive nature, flammable liquid with explosive nature, flammable liquid with poisonous nature. There will be different types of flammable liquids. So to which class does it belong? If it is a liquid, that you have to mention here under VBF hazard class. And some, some liquids, there will be flammable liquids having flash point above 61 degrees Celsius, or some liquids will be having flash point at 34 degrees Celsius. So there will be different flash points, temperatures, ignition temperatures, and also if there are secondary hazards, it will contain secondary hazards. So again, the flammable liquids are divided into different classes. So your material, whatever material you have chosen here, if this is a liquid or flammable liquid, then you should mention to which class of liquids it belongs. That is known as VBF hazard class. Okay, you can just press F1 there. Yuvraj, you press F1, it will show you. Okay, right click and go to help. There at the VBF hazard class, right click. At the VBF hazard class, inside the box, right click, go to help, first option. Yeah, see. Description of combustible liquids, hazard class. So VBF means combustible liquid. Again, combustible liquids will be in different forms. They will be having different characteristics. So again, they can be divided into different classes. That is what they are trying to say. Okay. Anything else, Shivdev?
No, sir, it's clear now. Thank you.
It's clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So additional data 1, additional data 2, the same thing. If you want to describe your hazardous substance in more detail, then you can utilize additional data 1 and additional data 2 tab. But again, here also, it is not so easy, because uh, it is not functioning properly. There is some error in the server. Even if you go to additional data, you may try to create. Click on that second button, Yuvraj. Create button is there, no? Click on that. Second button. No, not that. Not that. Oh, gone. Leave it. Leave it. Double click on the 1108 above. You can see in the hit list, under hit list. Double click. No, it is not. All right, no problem. Leave it. You can try that when you're creating any other hazardous substance. You go to additional data 1. There will be one create button, the second button. You have to click on that, and you can give some additional information related to the hazardous substances. You come back, put a /n and come back. Go back again to that HSMD. Now do one thing. Click on that execute button directly. Click on execute. Execute. On the right hand side, it is there. On the right hand side. No. Just beside that country. Yes. Okay. See, you have one material, right? Now click on that edit button. Edit. Okay, that only. First one. On top. There is create button, no, on top. The first one. Yes. Come back. Again, go to hazardous substance. /n HSMD D, enter. Click on execute button. Yes. Now click on edit button, the first button on top, besides, yeah, that one. Okay, 1 second. Now go to additional data one. Now click on that create button below. See, below there is a second button. Append row. Add. Okay. Select text type. Here you should select. Wait 1 minute. Let me see. Select a hazard symbol. If you see below, there is one hazard symbol. Below, still below. Select that. Now come to description of text type. I think there is not. Okay, hazard symbol is coming. Fine. Go to text. Go to drop down. No, yeah, there are no phrases. See, that is what they have to first. You have to maintain all the phrases for your hazardous substances. Only then you can use them here. That is a lot of time consuming. After you create the phrases, again, it has to be integrated with your hazardous substance management. Okay, so just remember, this is a place where you can provide additional data to your hazardous substances. It is not there, otherwise we could have added for additional data. It is not available. Okay, you can go back. You cannot save because, see, this is incomplete. Additional data one, you have it is not complete. That is why I refrain. I don't add anything apart from what I told you, because again it will create lot of errors. Even if you try to delete, it will not be deleted. No problem. Go to /n. You put /n and exit. Put /n and exit. Okay, fine. Any other doubt, Yuvraj and Shivdeep? Okay, you can close this server because we'll now go next to dangerous goods management.
Yeah.
Okay. So our next topic is dangerous goods management. So first question in this is, what is the difference between a hazardous substance and a dangerous good? we saw about hazardous substances. I also gave you definitions for hazardous substances. I explained to you what is a hazardous substance, what is the standard definition as per SAP, and as per the German chemical laws, what do you call it as a hazardous substance? There are four properties, even that I explained to you yesterday. So tell me, what is the difference between a dangerous good and hazardous substance? Are they both the same thing, or is there any difference between the two? Is there any difference between dangerous good and hazardous substance? Tell me something. Respond.
I guess that they are almost similar.
Yeah, they are similar. If you go by the definition, Shivdev, both are same. Any substance that poses danger to human health, animals, or the environment while handling or storing is a hazardous substance as well as a dangerous good. By definition, both are same. But in that case, why are we studying them separately? Can't we combine? It will be much easier if we combine. Or why do we have to call them with different names? If anyways, if both are same, you can Google it also, no problem. If you see the definition, it is the same thing. Both are same definitions. But still, SAP, not only SAP, even in our EHS, chemical hazards, or if you see any other regulations, they have bifurcated this. Hazardous substance they treat differently, dangerous good they treat differently. Why like that? What is the reason? I don't know if I had told this during our initial classes. I don't remember, but if you can just tell me what is the difference, that will be fine. Again, this is something that you will not find the difference easily, even if you Google. Okay, because the difference is very subtle and it is very logical, I can say. Okay, I'll tell. No idea. Fine, I'll tell you. So, what is a hazardous substance? When we say any substance as a hazardous substance, it is again, it has some characteristics which are detrimental to human health. It can affect the health of the animals. Also, it can affect the environment. When you are using the hazardous substance or even when you are storing the hazardous substance, it can affect our surroundings. That is a hazardous substance. Again, dangerous goods also goes by the same definition. But what is the difference? See, hazardous substance, when I say it is localized to one particular area. Like for example, we did hazardous substance management. When we were studying hazardous substance management, I was only telling you the hazardous substances are being either used as a raw material or you are manufacturing a hazardous substance. Like that, I was telling you. So hazardous substance is a substance that is limited. It is available only in a fixed location. A hazardous substance. It can be within a company or it can be within a plant. A hazardous substance is within a certain boundary, okay, fixed at a particular location. But when you go to the dangerous good, the very definition tells you goods means any product which is being transported. Okay, so in dangerous goods, what happens? Your transportation is added, and also the kind of packaging you're using for your hazardous substance, that also is being added. So dangerous goods is something it is also a hazardous substance, but it is being transported from one location to another location. It is in transit, and also the packaging that you select for dangerous goods should be such that it should not react with the dangerous good. So if you consider the hazardous substance which is there within a plant, if you decide to transport that hazardous substance to another location or to another plant, that same hazardous substance will become a dangerous good, because now you are planning to transport it. So once the transportation element is added, the hazardous substance will become a dangerous good. That is the only difference. Okay. So what separates between the hazardous substance and a dangerous good? It is the transportation which you are using. Secondly, what is the kind of packaging material you are using for packing your dangerous good? Packaging and transportation. These are the two things that convert the hazardous substance into a dangerous good. So remember this difference, because you will not find this easily, and a lot of times, maybe in your future also, it will be very helpful to you. So this is the only difference. And also, not only that, the regulations which you need to follow in case of hazardous substances will be different. In terms of dangerous goods will be different. So in our dangerous goods management, we are mainly going to see what are the different DG regulations which are available. Okay, and also we will see what are the different modes of transportations you can use for transporting your dangerous goods. So these two things we are going to see. And apart from that, yes, I will also show you what are the different packaging materials which are available, from plastic to steel boxes to aluminum containers. There are a wide range of packaging material which you can use for dangerous goods. Okay, now I hope you clearly understand what are the differences between the dangerous good and a hazardous substance. Fine. So going to the first part in dangerous goods management. The dangerous goods management component can be used for a variety of activities. In this dangerous goods management, you can perform a lot of activities. So what are they? One is you can edit dangerous goods relevant material data. You can change the dangerous goods data. You can edit the dangerous goods data. Second is you can edit dangerous goods master record. Okay. See, I told you in hazardous substances also there is something known as hazardous substance master, which contains all the details of the hazardous substances. That is a hazardous substance master. In dangerous goods management also we have a master. We call it as dangerous goods master. So this dangerous goods master record will also contain the details of a dangerous good, like what is the nature of the dangerous good, which is the applicable regulation we need to follow, what is the mode of transportation we need to follow, and what is the packaging material we are using, and what is the state of matter of the dangerous goods, and to which country we are transporting this dangerous good, etc., etc. So your DG master record will contain all the information related to the dangerous good. So we can edit that. I will also show you the dangerous good master record. See, unlike your hazardous substance master, the dangerous good master can be displayed on the screen. You can display the master record. You can even edit or create a new master record. It is possible. So we will see that when we go to the transaction code. How does your dangerous good master record looks like? What is the information that is available in the DJ master record? I will show you those things. Okay, this is a second point. Third is you can define dangerous good checks and run them in sales and distribution processing. See, though dangerous goods is a part of EHS module, I understand that, but most of its application is related to sales and distribution. You know why? Because see, when do you transport any dangerous good? Either you transport dangerous goods because you want to deliver that product to your customer, or you want to deliver that product to the distribution center. So that is why all the documents related to dangerous goods are actually prepared by the SDE people. Sales and distribution people have to prepare all the documents related to DG. For example, sales documents, shipping documents, shipment documents. All these DG documents are prepared by the sales and distribution team. So a lot of work is not only belonging to EHS, but also the main responsibility or ownership lies with the SD team. They have to do that. So in the third point, what they are saying, we can define dangerous good checks and run them in sales and distribution processing. So if you want to create any document, dangerous goods document, while you are creating the dangerous good document, the system will automatically check whether the data you are entering in the document is correct or not, whether the data entered into the document is as per the applicable regulation or not. The system will check by default. It will check automatically whether the data is correct or not in a document. Okay. So that kind of dangerous goods checks you can define in dangerous goods management. Third is, you can print the data related to dangerous goods documents and you can output them automatically or manually on the reports. You can generate the reports. And fifth one, you can send dangerous goods data in electronic format for a delivery or a shipment. Not necessary that all the documents should be there in the hard copy format. You can even directly send any document from your DG management to whichever person you want. You can directly email them the details. So that is also possible in dangerous goods management. Okay. So these are some of the functions which you can perform in dangerous goods management component. Next, what are the different other SAP modules which are connected with this? Dangerous goods management has an integration with materials management, and also it has a major integration with sales and distribution. Because a reason I told you, any sales related to dangerous goods is done by the sales department. Sales department are concerned with SD module. So they will be the major stakeholders in dangerous goods. Secondly, since dangerous good is also a material, you need an integration with module. So that is why these are the two important components which are connected with dangerous goods management. Okay, is it clear up to here? So this is a basic overview of dangerous goods management. What are the integrations are there and what are the activities we can perform in dangerous goods management. I hope this is clear to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Next, there is something known as a hazard inducer. Okay, though this is more mainly applicable in dangerous goods and to some extent in hazardous substance management. There is something known as a hazard inducer. So what is an hazard inducer? You can please note down this hazard inducer. Hazard inducer, a substance contained in dangerous goods, a substance contained in dangerous goods that can constitute a primary or secondary hazard. A substance contained in dangerous goods that can constitute a primary or secondary hazard. So what is the meaning of this? See, every dangerous good, there must be some reason why you call that substance as a dangerous good. I cannot call any food item as a dangerous good. I cannot call paper as a dangerous good. I cannot call any organic material as a dangerous good. There should be some property within that material or product because of which I have to call it as a dangerous good. So that property or that substance which is contained in that product which makes the entire product dangerous is known as a hazard inducer. To put it in simple terms, let me give you an example of battery. Okay, car battery. Let's take car battery. Is car battery a dangerous good? Is car battery a dangerous good according to you? What do you think?
Yes, sir, it is.
It is. Why?
It can cause fire, explosion with the car.
Okay, it can cause fire, explosion, and what is the reason? Why will it cause fire and explosion? What does it contain that will make it into an explosive substance?
that acid inside.
Exactly, correct. Then acids will be there, and also lead will also be there. I don't know if you are aware, lead compounds are also present in the battery. Again, lead is a heavy metal and it is highly toxic material, lead. Okay, so you have acids in a battery and you have lead compounds in a battery. So I can call this acids as a hazard inducer, and also I can call your lead compounds as a hazard inducer. Why can I call them as a hazard inducer? Because my battery is not something dangerous by itself. It is because of these two things contained in the product that makes the entire product as dangerous. If you remove acids and if you remove lead, then I don't think you will be able to call battery as dangerous, because that substance which makes the battery dangerous has been removed. It has been taken away. So you will no longer can call the battery as a hazardous substance or as a dangerous good. So hazard inducer is a substance which is present in that particular product which makes the entire product dangerous. To give you one more very simple example, thermometers. Earlier they used to use this mechanical thermometer. So that thermometer contains mercury, because mercury is the metal that reacts to the temperatures and it will rise. As the temperature increases, the mercury will rise. But again, mercury is a very hazardous metal. It is considered as toxic again, and it is not good for environment and the people's health. So though thermometer is a safe product, but because of this presence of mercury, I can say that that makes thermometer as a dangerous good. It is makes that dangerous. Similarly, you can give so many examples. Paint is another example. Paint contains lead compounds, paint contains solvents, paint contains chemical compounds. Because of these things, again, paint is a dangerous good because it can catch fire. Mainly, it is flammable and it can emit volatile organic compounds, that is carbon compounds it can emit. That makes paint again as a dangerous good. So any product by itself is not bad. It is the content or the substance which is residing inside that product which makes that a dangerous good. I will give you one more example for hazard inducer. I don't know if you smoke or not, but there are people who will smoke. And in the cigarette, the tobacco which they use, the main hazard inducer or the substance that it contains is what we call nicotine. Okay, it is because of nicotine I can say that tobacco is very dangerous to human health. If you remove tobacco or nicotine, it will be relatively safe. So it is nicotine is the compound which is present in the tobacco which makes cigarettes very harmful to human health. Okay, that's another example for hazard inducer. So now you understand any product, if it contains something, even take example for food now, fast food. Why do you call fast food is not good for health? Fast food is bad because they use lot of preservatives, they use lot of coloring agents, they use artificial flavors in that. Because of that, fast food is not good for human health. Yeah, so I can definitely call it as a hazard inducer. If they prepare without using any of this chemical stuff, then yeah, fast food is good for health. But as soon as they add this preservatives, these coloring agents, the artificial sweeteners, when they add, that food becomes actually dangerous to our health. So that is your hazard inducer. Okay, so what happens is in dangerous goods management, when we are creating any document or when we are creating dangerous good record, master record, at that time we have to mention for any product which I have selected, what is a hazard inducer in that. I have to add those things. It can either be one hazard inducer or there can be multiple hazard inducers. That is why here in the definition they have given primary or secondary hazard. Primary hazard can be in your battery, it can be acids. The secondary hazard can be your lead compound. It can be even more than 3 also. But normally we either call it as a primary hazard inducer or a secondary hazard inducer. So this is the definition of a hazard inducer. Again, this is related to dangerous goods, or it can be applied in your hazardous substance management. Okay, clear? Hazard inducer. Next, regulation families. Okay, now coming to regulation families. This is where we will study all the DG regulations. See, there are two types of dangerous goods regulations. One is country specific regulations are also available, and also international level DG regulations are also available. For example, Australia has its own DG regulation. We call it as ADG, Australian Dangerous Good Regulation. That is only applicable within Australia. Okay. Similarly, we have 49 CFR. CFR again, it is a dangerous good regulation applicable only in United States. So there are two types of regulations. One is country specific, and at the international level also you can say there are certain regulations. And within that again there are two types. One is quantity dependent regulation, one is quantity independent regulation. So what is a quantity dependent regulation? It is a regulation in which quantity plays an important role. Like for any dangerous good, the quantity will play the important role. To give you an example, if you want to transport, let's say, 1 liter of petrol or diesel from, let's say, Delhi to Punjab, okay, as an example, you don't have to follow any regulation. You don't have to take permission, you don't have to take license, commercial tax will not be applicable, you don't have to provide a special vehicle for that, special provisions are not required. Because why? Though it is a dangerous good, petrol is a dangerous good, diesel is also a dangerous good, but the quantity is so less that even if something goes wrong, it will not harm too much, it will not be so dangerous. Okay, so any hazardous substance or dangerous good in a very small quantity, there are certain DG regulations which will not be applicable on that because the quantity is negligible. But just imagine that same petrol or diesel, if you want to carry in terms of gallons or in terms of many thousands of liters, if you want to carry, same from Delhi to Punjab, then obviously you have to take the license, the permission should be in place, and you have to carry it only in the permissible vehicle, not in a passenger vehicle. You have to carry it in a separate tanker you should provide, and you should carry in that with fire extinguisher should be there, and the licenses should be there, all the documents related to that should be there, the symbol signages has to be displayed on the vehicle. There are so many requirements. So one type of DG regulation is quantity dependent, another is quantity independent. Okay, now coming to the second type, quantity independent. Can you give me an example of any material, though it is in less quantity, still you cannot carry it without permission when speaking about dangerous goods? I gave you an example of petrol and diesel for quantity dependent regulation. For quantity independent regulation, can you give me an example for a material or a dangerous good? Though it is in very less quantity, still you cannot carry it without permission. Anything is like that is there? Any such goods or material is there? Though in less quantity, still you need to take the permission. If it is there, please tell me.
Alcohol, sir?
Alcohol.
It's like chemical waste.
If it is very less, 100 grams, still you need to take permission.
Radioactive materials like
Okay. Yes. Now you got the point. See, it is when you give the example of radioactive material, yes, whether you carry 1 kilogram of uranium or 10 gram of uranium, it is having the same potential, no matter in how much quantity you are carrying. The radioactive material is an example for dangerous goods, which if you are carrying, you need to take the permission. So, irrespective of what is the quantity of the dangerous good, there are regulations which you need to follow. Okay, even for 10 grams of radioactive material uranium, you have to take the permission. You should provide the packaging in such a way that the radiation should not escape the container. It should be lined with lead. Lead lining should be available. Okay, it should be transported very carefully under special provisions. You should provide a separate vehicle for that. Only then you can carry the radioactive material. So that is why there are two types of DG regulations I said. One is quantity dependent, another is quantity independent. These are the two types. Okay. Now coming to the specific regulations. So we call these regulations as regulation families. Regulation families we call them because these are very important regulations. Though every country has a DG regulation, these regulations are very widely used and they are very popular. So we will limit ourselves to only these regulations. So which are those? By the way, in India, what is the DG regulation? Is there any DG regulation for India? इंडिया में है कोई डीजी रेगुलेशन? I gave you example of Australia. We have ADG. And even in Mexico, we have Mexican dangerous good regulation is there. China also has a DG regulation. Korea also has a DG regulation. USA also has a DG regulation. India, does it have a separate DG regulation? Where if you want to carry any dangerous goods, which you need to follow in India.
Peso, sir, peso.
In
India, it's Petroleum and Explosive Substance Organization. Peso.
But that does it come under DG regulation?
I'm not sure
Because
exactly.
why I am saying, because you told it is petroleum, right? Petroleum. But what about the chemicals? What about radioactive materials? Then that will come outside of that.
For radioactive, I think it's ARDA.
Then for each substance, but dangerous good regulation normally in all the countries, no matter what kind of dangerous good it is, there will be just one regulation. ऐसा कुछ है इंडिया में जो which will cater to all the other types?
Not sure, sir.
See, in India, with the name of dangerous goods, there is no regulation. We don't have any DG regulation. Yeah, like you said, there are separate entities, separate small organizations are there, which are related to petroleum and diesel products, or somewhere you will find related to dangerous gases, there will be some regulations, or related to hazardous substances, pollution control board, sorry, hazardous waste, pollution control board has some set of rules. It is all scattered, between different agencies. One unified DG regulation is not available in India. There is just one option that you have in Motor Vehicle Act. There is a provision for dangerous goods. So if you want to carry any dangerous goods, there are some rules that are highlighted in Motor Vehicle Act. But apart from that, we don't have any. Our own DG regulation is not there, unfortunately. But yes, hazardous substances, if you want to carry in a pollution control board rules and regulations, if you check, there are certain regulations which you need to follow for hazardous waste. But if it is a product or a dangerous good, then we don't have any such separate regulation is not available. You have to refer back again to your Motor Vehicle Act, or if you are transporting your dangerous goods using airways, then you have to follow IATA regulation. Indian regulation for DG is not there. Okay, fine. So let us continue with this regulation families. Like I told you, there are a very handful of regulations which are very popular and which are followed in many countries. So I will highlight you some of them so that you can it will be useful for you. One such regulation is ADR regulation. ADR regulation is a dangerous good regulation which is applicable in European region. Okay, and this ADR regulation is applicable for roadway transportation of dangerous goods. If you are using truck, if you are using some kind of vehicle using roadways, if you want to transport, then you have to follow ADR regulation. There is no full form as such. So you can just write somewhere in your book ADR, and you can say it is European Agreement concerning the international carriage of dangerous goods by road. It is not the full form, but it is a definition. ADR means European Agreement concerning the international carriage of dangerous goods by road. This is one. Second is ADNR. ADR is related to roadways. ADNR is related to inland waterway. So what is inland waterway? Within a country or within a region, if there is a river which connects more than one countries or more than one states, you can use river system to transport dangerous goods. Okay, it is allowed to transport dangerous goods using river system. So for that kind of transportation, you need to follow ADNR regulation. But this ADNR is also related to European region. Because in Europe, in northern part of Europe, there is a river known as River Rhine. Like I have written here, there is a river known as River Rhine in Europe. So what happens is, if you want to transport your dangerous goods using this River Rhine, you need to take into consideration mainly what is a dangerous good you want to transport, and this river is mainly connected with 3-4 countries in northern Europe. I think Germany, France, Poland, Italy, something like that. 3-4 countries are connected with this River Rhine. So these 4-5 countries, if they want to transport their dangerous goods, if they want to export dangerous goods, they will use this River Rhine as a transportation medium. So for that purpose also, they have created one regulation which we call it as ADNR regulation. So when they formulated this regulation, lot of other countries from Asia and from Africa, they went to this organization and they said, we want to follow your regulation. It is very good. Inland waterway transportation is very good. So we want to follow your regulation. Please give us the permission so that we can follow your rules and regulations. We want to adopt your regulation. So when they requested them, ADNR, what they did, this organization, they changed this regulation a little bit. Instead of ADNR, they changed this to ADN, where R stands for River Rhine. See, River Rhine is only in Europe. It is not there in other parts. So if you want to follow this regulation, you have to remove this word River Rhine. It has to be removed completely. So that is why in other parts of the world, if you are using inland waterway, then you can follow ADN regulation. ADN regulation is the simplified regulation of ADNR. They have made some changes in the regulation. They have removed the name of River Rhine, and this ADN regulation is given to be followed by other countries. So in India also, if you want to follow any regulation related to inland waterway transportation, you can use ADN regulation. But provided the government of India should recognize this regulation, only then you can follow. Okay, this is one regulation, ADNR. Third is IATA, IATA. By the way, if you want to write down the definition of ADNR, you can write transportation of dangerous goods on the river Rhine. Transportation of dangerous goods on river Rhine. ADNR. Third is IATA, IATA, IATA. IATA stands for International Air Transportation Authority. International Air Transportation Authority. So this is again, there is no alternate for IATA. See, you may find alternate for ADR, alternate for ADNR. You may have other regulations followed by other countries. But for air transportation of DG, there is just one. You have to follow IATA. There is no alternate. Even in India, if you want to transport DG using airways, you have to fulfill IATA regulation. Because IATA is followed worldwide. This is an international regulation. IATA is not only related to dangerous goods. If you see any pilot, flight engineer, or cabin crew, air hostesses, all these people who work in airlines, they have the certification from IATA. Without the certification from IATA, they will not get the job in airline industry. It is like a regulatory body of airways. So not only related to DG, dangerous goods, even for passenger flight safety also, they have so many regulations. All the protocol that the pilot has to follow, that is formulated by IATA regulation. So not only dangerous goods, but also flight safety procedure is also developed by IATA. So this is your regulation when you want to transport dangerous goods using airways. Either you can use air cargo planes or you can use air passenger flights. Both are fine. Don't think you should only use air cargo flights. Cargo flights also you can use. Passenger flights also you can use, provided the quantity should be less in case of air passenger flights, and there should not be any liquid type of dangerous food. Petrol and diesel you cannot carry in passenger flights. Okay, so that is not allowed. But you can carry, if it is some chemical, yeah, you can definitely carry. That is your IATA. Next, coming to the fourth regulation, IMDG. So what is an IMDG regulation? It is International Maritime Dangerous Goods Regulation. International Maritime Dangerous Goods Regulation. So this is also an international standard. There is no alternative because our oceans are there. No, there is no any legal boundary is not there for oceans. Any one ocean is connected to a lot of countries. Nobody can say this belongs to us, or China cannot say that Bay of Bengal belongs to them. There is no international boundary when you consider oceans. So that is why if you want to transport dangerous goods using ships, using the sea mode of transportation, then you need to follow IMDG regulation. This is an international regulation. So you can call it as International Maritime Dangerous Goods Regulation. Next, coming to the fifth type, 49 CFR. What is 49 CFR? Where CFR stands for Code of Federal Regulations. Code of Federal Regulations. 49 CFR basically, number 49 is related to dangerous goods. So CFR has in total, there are 50 codes are there. So each code is belonging to different category. Okay. Out of that, 49 is related to dangerous goods. So if you want to transport dangerous goods either by roadways or railways within United States, you need to follow 49 CFR regulation. Only applicable in USA. Where CFR stands for Code of Federal Regulations. Okay. Then last one you have RID. RID regulation. RID regulation is also a European regulation followed mostly in Europe. For RID, you can write dangerous goods by rail. Dangerous goods by rail, you can write, or you can also write it as Convention concerning international carriage by rail. Convention concerning international carriage by rail. So again, like I told you, this is followed only in Europe. So in European countries, if they want to transport dangerous goods using railway system, they have to fulfill RID regulation. Apart from these five, there are many others are there. Asia Road, Asia Airways, many regulations are there. Mexico regulations, Brazilian dangerous good regulation is also there. There are many examples, country specific, hundreds of them are there. But these are some of the important ones. Okay, any doubt in regulation families? Remember these regulation families, they are very important. Okay, any doubt in this regulation families? Is it clear to you?
Okay, sir. Clear.
Okay, all right. So here I need, can you please give me 5-10 minutes? I'll just have some water and come back. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just putting you on hold. I will be back in 5-10 minutes. Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let us. Any doubt in regulation families? Did you understand? Okay, now going to the next topic, that is mode of transportations, mode of transport category. Mode of transport category is important for dangerous goods because it depends on the regulation. Whatever the transportation method you want to use, it depends again on the regulation. If you are following ADR regulation, you have to follow roadways, mode of transport. If you are following IATA regulation, then you have to fulfill the airway transportation you have to use, or it is the other way around. If you decide what kind of transportation mode you want to use, that particular DG regulation will become applicable. It is vice versa. Either you select regulation first, then the related transportation you can utilize, or first select the transportation mode you want to use, then select the regulation. So like that, it is vice versa. You can select whichever you want. So in mode of transport category for your dangerous goods, there are two categories mainly. One we call it as base mode of transport category, and second you have collective mode of transport category. So what is the meaning of this? Base mode of transport category means these are some of the basic modes of transportation that is available. For example, I will just write some of them. 01 is a code related to road transportation mode. 02 means rail. Then you have 03 for inland waterway. So if you want to transport dangerous goods using inland waterways, then the code is 03. Then 4 is for sea mode of transport. 5 is for air cargo. 6 is air passenger. Okay, next you have, there is no 07, there is 08 for tanker. Then you have 20 for pipeline mode of transport. Okay, so all these from 1 to 20, what you have, these are known as base mode of transportation categories because they are very basic. Roadways, railways, airways, all these are basic mode of transportation. So these are base mode of transportation categories. But you know what happens in real time? You cannot use just one type of transportation. It is not at all possible. For example, if you want to transport any dangerous goods, let us say from Uttar Pradesh to, let's say, Australia, you want to transport dangerous goods. What happens in Uttar Pradesh? There is no sea, there is no oceanic travel is not possible. So if you decide to transport your dangerous goods using ships, then you will load your dangerous goods into any truck. You will first use a road mode of transportation category. From say Uttar Pradesh to, you will send to Mumbai via roadways. After reaching Mumbai, what they will do is unload the dangerous goods in the port. They will load it into a container, put it on a ship, and then the ship will carry from Mumbai to Australia. Again, after reaching Australia, what they will do, they will unload at the port. They will put it in a truck or in a railway wagon. They will fill the material, and then again from the port they will carry to the destination city. So what you see here in the entire journey of a dangerous good, it is not at all possible that you can use just one type of transportation. Yeah, within the country I accept. Like for example, you are manufacturing some dangerous good in UP, you want to send it to Delhi or to Mumbai. It is easy. You can put it in a roadways in a truck and you can send it to Mumbai. But imagine if you are sending to some international destination or some other country, which is very far, then a single mode of transportation is not at all possible. So in such a case, you will use roadways initially, then you will use either airways or sea mode of transportation. Then again, after reaching that country, you may use again roadways or railways. So this type of transportation categories, if you are using more than one, you call it as a collective mode of transport category. Okay, you can make it as a group of transportation categories: roadways, railways, airways, roadways, railways or sea, then roadways, sea and airways. Like that, you can combine more than one type of transportation category and you can call it as a collective mode of transportation. This is the second type. Apart from these two types, there are again, as per the company requirement, as per the client requirement, you can create your own transportation category also. There is a facility for that. Apart from this 1, 2, 3, what I have just listed here, apart from this, if any company wants to create their own transportation category, that is also fine. You can create it. So some examples are given even for that. For example, okay, here it is. Let's say 11, you want to name truck transportation as a separate mode of transport category. Okay, you can put truck as a number 11. But what is the base mode of transportation for truck? It is again related to roadways. It is connected with roadways. Second, code number 12 can be related to semi-trailer. You can use semi-trailer also for your transportation of dangerous goods. But again, this is something which is related to roadways again. So you have to connect it with roadways. Number 13, you can even use pickup trucks for transportation of dangerous goods. It is allowed. As per your requirement, you can change the mode of transportation, but this is also related to roadways. Similarly, you have very different ways of your own configure transportation categories. As per your customization, you can use. For example, there are 3 more examples. 41, car ferry. Car ferry is a boat which is used to carry people and vehicles from one island to another island. You see this mostly in Goa, in Kerala and all. Car ferry is a boat. It is like a bigger boat that will carry your vehicles, your two-wheeler, four-wheeler, along with passengers. It will carry. That is your car ferry. You can use that even for dangerous good transportation. But again, if you are using car ferry, this has to be assigned to your sea mode of transportation. So this is a sea mode of transportation basically. Apart from this, you have 42 for container ships. Yeah, container ships can also be used, and this is related to sea mode of transportation. And then you have cargo freighter. Both cargo freighter, container ship, both are same. Still, if you want to designate them separately, you can use it separately as container ship or cargo freighter. This is also related to your sea mode of transportation. Okay, so these are the company dependent. As per the company requirement, they have created their own mode of transportation. Okay, so this is the mode of transportation when it comes to dangerous goods. Now coming to dangerous goods master data. So what is a master data? Master data is a data which does not change often. See, there are 2 types of data in SAP, you should know. One is transaction data, second is master data. So master data is a data that does not change very frequently. For example, your name, your date of birth will not change. Your parents' name will not change. Your city of birth will not change. Okay, so these are some of the details about you which will not change. but your telephone number may change, your company in which you are working may change, your address may change. These are some of these data is known as a temporary data or transaction data, which is bound for changes. It can change anytime, but your master data will not change. Even if it changes, that will be only very rarely. It will not change from day to day. Okay, so what is the master data for dangerous goods? The dangerous goods master contains the data required to perform dangerous goods checks and generate dangerous goods documents. So what is your dangerous goods master? It contains the data which is required to perform dangerous goods checks and to generate dangerous goods documents. That is known as your dangerous goods master data. And you use this component to enter and edit dangerous goods master records. So there will be records for each material or each dangerous good. There will be a record. You can go into this dangerous goods master and you can change some of the details of the materials. Okay, so that is why they are saying you use this component to enter and edit dangerous goods master records. To use the components of DG management, the system requires data from material master, from engineering change management, and phrase management. So that is why with your dangerous good management, even these data are integrated. That is material master, engineering change management, and phrase management. So your dangerous good master record, actually it is similar to your material master. Material master means in MM module we find all the materials are created and they are available in a database. That database of materials is known as material master. Similarly, dangerous good master record means it contains all the details of dangerous goods which are available in a company. Okay, that is known as a dangerous good master. Now, I can tell you some of the dangerous good master, which is that particular data. For example, the name of the dangerous good, the physical chemical nature of the dangerous good, the danger rating, the type of DG regulation applicable, what is the mode of transportation category applicable on that dangerous good, what is the kind of packaging you are using, what is the maximum quantity limit you can carry. The dangerous good, if you want to transport, what is the maximum quantity you can carry? That is also a master data. And then okay, what is the rating I told you, danger rating I told you. Then which is the danger label you need to display? That is also a master data. And then if there are any special provisions which you need to follow for this transportation, again that will come under master data. So these are some of the examples related to the master data of dangerous goods. When we go to transaction codes, I will show you all those different master data. But what I told you just now, these are examples for dangerous goods master data. These are known as master data. So again, in the interview, they will ask you sometimes, what are the different master data available in DG management? If they ask you this question, you should tell all this. Applicable DG regulation, mode of transportation category, packaging material, what is the hazard or danger rating, which is a mode of transportation, what is the name of the dangerous good. All this you should tell. All this is nothing but master data. Okay. So moving on, next to dangerous good checks. You can write down few lines for this dangerous good checks, because again this is important. Dangerous goods checks. You can use this component to check SD documents. You can use this component to check SD documents according to dangerous goods regulations. According to dangerous goods regulations. You can use this component to check SD documents according to dangerous goods regulations. This component is integrated in the creation process. This component is integrated in the creation process for sales, shipping, and shipment documents. This component is integrated in the creation process for sales, shipping, and shipment documents. Okay. So, like I told you, these are related with sales and distribution module. These are known as SD documents, sales and distribution documents. And this is not applicable in EHS. It has nothing to do with EHS. These sales documents or shipment documents are actually prepared by SD team. Sales team will prepare these documents. But while preparing the document, they need some of the data from EHS. For example, which is applicable regulation, what is the mode of transportation they are supposed to use, what is the route they need to follow, what is the kind of packaging they are supposed to use. All this data is belonging to EHS. So while they are generating the SD document, they need some of the information from EHS also. So that is why there is an integration between SD and EHS. So mainly in SD, there are three types of documents. Just right here. Again, see, in interview, they will ask you for sure. Dangerous goods checks is a very important concept in dangerous goods management. They will definitely ask you. I have seen in so many interviews, they will be asking. So in sales and distribution documents, SD documents are as follows. They can be divided into sales documents, shipping documents, and shipment documents. These are the three types of documents you have in SD. Okay, when they are preparing each of these documents, there is a set of data that the system will check automatically. For example, it will check whether the data they have included in sales document is correct or not. It will check. The data that is included in shipping documents, is it correct or not? It will check that data. So there will be a program that will be running in the background. That program will check, as per this regulation, this much quantity is allowed or not. Whether the date mentioned on this document is the current date or not. It will check for the date. The mode of transportation you are using, is it correct as per the regulation or not? Like that, what it will do, it will compare the data with the standard, and it will check whether the data entered is correct or not. If there is any discrepancy, it will alert the user to change the data. Okay, this is known as dangerous goods checks. So what kind of data is it going to check? For example, let me tell you, in sales document, what data it will check? In sales document, it will check for shipping point, and it will check for sales organization. Then it will check for order type. Most of these concepts are from SD. You just should know what it will check. That's all. Ship to party, that is the name of the customer. Ship to party. These details it will check. What is the route you are going to follow? That it is going to check. And the SD document date. SD document date. It will check in sales document. Next. In shipping documents, what are the data it is going to check? In shipping documents, it will check again shipping point, It's okay. Shipping point, it will check. Sales organization name, it will check. Sales organization. Then it will check for delivery type. Then it will check for the data shipped to party. This data it will check. And then the route which you are following. Then SD document data. These are the data it will check in shipping documents. And then finally, in shipment documents, it will check for the data. Transportation planning point. Transportation planning point. Shipment type. Shipment stages. Then it will check for SD document date. SD document date. So these are some of the data that the system will check automatically whenever you are preparing sales document, shipping document, or shipment document. It will check whether the data you have entered is correct or not. And there are two ways by which it will check. One is automatic check will be done, or manual checking will be done. Automatic check means as soon as you enter the data, immediately it will check whether this is a correct data or not. Otherwise, it will show you an error message that this data is incorrect. Then you have to again check, you have to change the data, then you can continue entering the details. That is automatic check. Manual check means after you complete preparing the document, then you have to select the option for the document checking. Then when you will save the document, at that time the system will check whether the data entered is correct or not. If there is any error, it will display you. It cannot save the document because there are so and so error is there. Then you can again rectify that error and you can save the document. So that is manual checking. In automatic checking, as soon as you enter the detail, it will immediately check whether it is correct or not. That is automatic checking. So these are the two common types of dangerous good checks which is available. Okay, so again, there is lot of information available in the notes which I'm going to share with you. You please go through those details. You read that very thoroughly, because I am repeating again, dangerous goods is a very important component. There is a huge demand, and whenever they take your interview, this is what they will ask you. If their requirement is dangerous goods, they will definitely ask you regarding dangerous good checks. So don't miss out any data. There is lot of information already available in the notes. You read them thoroughly and you try to understand. Okay, because I'm repeating, it is very important. There is one more thing which I want to tell. There are some process steps of dangerous good checks. See, I don't tell this, but there is a process. Okay, let me put it like this. Process of dangerous good checks. This may also they will ask. This is also important. Process of dangerous good checks. So what is that process? I will just write one by one. There are 3 steps in this. 3 steps. Starting of dangerous good checks. Starting of dangerous good checks in shipment documents. This is the first step. Second step is determination of data. Determination of data for dangerous good checks. Determination of data for dangerous goods checks. And third step is execution of check methods. Execution of check methods. So if they ask you what is the process steps in DG check, then you have to tell these 3 steps. Okay, these are the 3 steps involved in dangerous good checks. Okay, any doubt in this dangerous good checks? So wherever you have doubt, you can stop me and you can ask. Okay, next is trem card processing. Now, before we go to trem card processing, I have one more question. I told you in the mode of transportation categories, I highlighted some of the transportation categories. In this, I also told you about pipeline mode of transportation. Okay. So my question is, which is the applicable regulation for pipeline mode of transportation? And second question is, do we have to prepare any documents if we are transporting using pipeline? These are my 2 questions with respect to pipeline mode of transportation. Is there any standard or any regulation applicable for pipeline? If yes, then what kind of documentation do we need any documentation or not for pipeline mode of transportation? You can try, you can answer, or whatever you know, you can answer. What do you think? Do you have any DJ regulation for this? Okay, I'll tell you. If you don't know, I'll tell you. See, if you are using pipeline mode of transportation, there is no dangerous good regulation applicable. It is not at all applicable, because dangerous goods being transported using pipeline, there is no any separate regulation applicable. This is a very safe mode of transportation. So you don't have any dangerous good regulation applicable. Also, you don't have to prepare any dangerous goods documents. Both are not required. Okay, for pipeline. Remember this, even in the notes they have given for pipeline mode of transportation, there is no separate regulation available and you don't have to prepare any documents. Fine. Let us go to the last section, trem card processing. Trem card processing, where the trem card full form is transport emergency card. Okay, this is a full form of trem card, transport emergency card. So in trem card, when you are, so what is basically a trem card? See, if you are transporting any dangerous goods, either you will put it in a truck, or you will put it in a railway wagon, or you will put it in a ship and you will transport. On the way, if something happens, if there is any emergency, the only person who is there with the dangerous goods is the driver or the ship's captain. He should know, first of all, what kind of goods he is carrying, what is the nature of those goods. If it catches fire, what he has to do. If there is any emergency, to whom he should contact. He should know these details basically. So trump card is nothing but this is a card containing all the information related to the dangerous goods, and in case of emergency, to whom should he contact. These details will be there in the transport emergency card. So what he will do is he will contact immediately the fire or the rescue team or the emergency services. Okay, and he will take action as per the trump card instructions. It will contain instructions basically. Okay, so what is a trump card? Trump card, as per SAP definition, is trump cards are written instructions for drivers of vehicles, ships captains, and rail personnel. Trump cards are written instructions for drivers of vehicles, ships captains, and rail personnel. They are intended primarily so the drivers and crew can take the correct emergency actions. See, not just taking action is not enough. You should know what action you have to take. If you put water for chemical fires, you know what will happen. If it is a flammable liquid, if you put water, you know what will happen. Not only taking action, he should also know what correct action he has to take. So they are intended primarily so the drivers and crew can take correct emergency actions, and secondarily so that the police, firefighters, and other emergency services can prevent accidents. This trump card is not only useful to the drivers or to the ship's captains, it is also useful for the emergency personnel who come to the site, because even they should know what they are dealing with, what is the material. Once they know, only then they can take appropriate action. So this trump card is not only helpful to the drivers but also to the emergency services. In USA, they don't use trump card. Basically, the information that is contained in a trump card, it is the same information that is available in your MSDS. So instead of trump card in America, they use MSDS. So if I have to tell you, trump card is nothing but it is an alternative document for your MSDS. Some of the information which is available in trump card is the load details, properties of the goods in the load, nature of danger, personal protective equipment, what PPE they have to use, the general actions to be taken by the driver, additional and or special actions to be taken by the driver. So what is the difference between these two, general actions and special actions? See, general actions can be like, if there is any accident, he should immediately call the company for whom he is working. He should immediately call the emergency services. That is his general action. Second, special actions means if he knows firefighting, he should take the firefighting equipment and he should put out the fire. That is a special instruction. Or if some other personnel is injured because of the accident, he should provide first aid. That is also a special instruction. Or if he has to barricade the area where there is a spillage of dangerous good, he should barricade that entire area. These are some of the special instructions the driver has to follow. Okay, so there is general actions to be taken and also special actions to be taken by the driver. Then the fire information will also be provided in the trump card. First aid information will be there, and additional information such as the telephone numbers for inquiries. That additional information will also be available. So these are some of the details that are included in a trump card. Okay, so these are the details available in a trump card. Next thing is there are again some special requirements also you should take care in a trump card. Like for example, every trump card should have a unique serial number. No true trump card should have the same number. Okay, that is prohibited. Secondly, in a trump card, the instructions have to be maintained in multiple languages. That is, in the local languages and also the standard language or official language. For example, in India, if you are carrying dangerous goods in southern part of India, you should include the information in Tamil, Telugu, in Kannada, in Marathi, etc., etc., and also in Hindi and English separately. Or if you are carrying dangerous goods in Europe, you should provide the information in French, in English, in German, in Italian, in Spanish, etc. So the TREM card information should not only be available in official languages, but also in the local languages, what is spoken in that region. Okay, these are the requirements of a TREM card. Now coming to the driver's requirement, the driver should be physically fit. He should understand local languages as well as official language. He should be very fluent in both the things. He should have a very good track record. He should be trained in firefighting and first aid measures. Only then the driver is suitable to carry the dangerous goods. Okay. So these are some of the requirements in a TREM card. If you are carrying one type of a dangerous good in a truck, then one TREM card is sufficient. But sometimes what happens, in the same truck, they will carry more than one type of a dangerous good. For example, there will be explosive substance also, there will be corrosive substance also. Or there may be flammable liquid or corrosive material. In such cases where you are using more than one type of a dangerous good in the same carrier, then what you have to do is you should prepare a TREM card known as a group TREM card. That TREM card will contain information of all the materials which are carrying in the same truck. Okay, so that is why we have two types of TREM cards. One is single TREM card and group TREM card. In case of mixed loading, you have to use group TREM card. Okay, so these are some of the requirements of a TREM card. TREM card is nothing but it is an emergency transportation card, and this is given to the drivers and ship's captains. We don't give it to the pilots because anyways he is in the middle of the air. He can't do anything even if some emergency happens. You cannot send any rescue team also there. So what he has to do is, in case of fire or any emergency in the air cargo while carrying dangerous goods, he should follow his standard protocol, standard flight safety protocol he should follow. We don't give him any separate DG or a TREM card. We don't give to him because anyways he cannot do anything else. He has to bring it down safely. The flight has to be landed safely onto the ground. So whatever is required to do that, that is already included in the flight safety protocols. He will follow that. No need of giving TREM card and all. He cannot do anything with that. So these are some of the requirements of a TREM card in dangerous goods transportation. Yeah, tell me. So this is all we have in the theory part, dangerous goods. It is very vast. So much information is there in this. If you did not understand anything in dangerous goods, please ask me. I know it is a little bit boring compared to other topics, but what do? You have to learn it. Moreover, it is one of the very important topics in SAP EHS. Any doubts you can ask me. I will clarify them before sharing the notes. Yeah, Yuvraj. Shivdeep, any doubt in dangerous goods?
Sir, can you explain one again this dangerous goods checks again, please?
Dangerous
Again, one
goods
shot checks. Yeah, again, can you explain this one more time?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. So what is the meaning of dangerous goods checks means, see, the documents related to dangerous goods are prepared by the sales and distribution team. We don't prepare, EHS don't prepare these documents. Because if you are selling your product to your customer, you are the responsible person. You have to prepare all the documents. So what documents these people will prepare? One is sales documents, shipping documents, and shipment documents. Three types of documents these people prepare. So while they are preparing these documents, the data entered into these documents should be correct. Otherwise, what will happen? Once the dangerous good is received at the port, the customs people will check everything. They will check all the documents. If they find that some incorrect data is mentioned, they will hold up the entire consignment. They will again ask them to prepare new set of documents, and then they have to give. So that will result in delays of transportation. So what we normally do is in SAP EHS, while you are preparing these documents, the system will automatically check whether the data you are entering into these documents is correct or not. How it will check? For example, if your dangerous goods regulation, which you have mentioned, is not correct for this type of material, that is not the correct dangerous good regulation. It will immediately show this is wrong. This is a wrong data. Then what you can do, you can check and you will rectify that error. Date, for example, you may by mistakenly enter some other date. It will check what is the SD document date. It will again notify the user. Similarly, there are a lot of data that the system will check while you are preparing the document, and whenever it finds that this is not a suitable data or this data is not relevant for this DG regulation, it will immediately point out. It will say this data has to be rectified. So anybody who is preparing these documents, he will take cognizance of that and he will rectify those errors. So for different set of documents, there are different data that the system will check. In sales document, it will check for shipping point, sales organization name, order type, that is sales order type, ship to party, who is the customer to whom you are sending the material, that it will check. What is the route you are following? Either directly from India to Australia you are sending, or from India to Sri Lanka, from Sri Lanka to Australia you are sending. It will check the route, and then it will check the SD document. This is in sales document. In shipping document also almost same. It will check for shipping point, sales organization, then it will check delivery type. See, again, I don't know much in SD document details. Delivery type means how are you going to deliver the material to the customer? There are different types of deliveries. Okay, so which is the type of delivery that you are doing to the customer? It will check for those details in shipping document. Then it will also check ship to party, the customer details, what is the route you are following, and then the SD document date it will check in shipping documents. Now coming to your shipment documents, it will check for transportation planning point. I mean, what is your plan for transportation? It will check. What is the shipment type? It will check. What are the shipment stages? And then SD document date. These are some of the details it will check in shipment document. Okay, so this is related to the different documents and what data it is going to check. Again, there are two types of checks. Normally, there are two checks. One is automatic check, second is manual check. Automatic check means, see, for example, when you are entering some data in a form, let's say example, let's say you are creating your Gmail ID. When you are creating the Gmail ID, what will happen? If you enter your email ID, immediately it will say this ID has already been used by some other person. It will ask you to create a new ID or to change your ID. Okay, that is known as automatic checking. It will check automatically as soon as you are entering the details in the document. Manual checking means after you completely enter the details, when you want to save the document, before you save, when you press save button, at that time it will check whether the data in your document is correct or not. If there is any error, it will highlight you what are the errors. Then again you need to rectify that and you can save the document. This is known as manual check. One is automatic check, second is manual check. These are the two types of dangerous good checks that will happen in DG management. Okay. So again, what are the rules? What data it has to check? What rules it has to follow? All that will be defined by the sales and distribution module. Those people will configure those details. You should only know what are the different documents it is going to check, what is the process it is going to follow to check the documents, and basically what is the meaning of document check, DG document check. You should know these things. That is more than enough. But for additional data, yeah, you can refer to the notes. In that there is additional information also included. Okay, understood now?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I know this is little difficult, Yuvraj. See, I understand that. But if you read the notes multiple times, it will become easier for you. Because here, it is not purely EHS. There is a combination of sales and distribution also, dangerous goods also. So that is why it is little bit complicated. But otherwise, you can study that. It's not so tough.
Okay, sir. So anyway, you will share the notes, no? For the
Yeah.
dangerous.
Sharing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I will. Okay, so that's the doubt. Any doubt in TREM card processing or mode of transportations?
No, sir. Not any doubt. Trim card is all okay, fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Shivdev, what about you? Any doubt from your end? You want me to repeat anything?
No, sir, it's clear for now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. So I will share the notes with you people. Next week we will see the transaction codes and other stuff related to dangerous goods. Okay. So I'll take your leave now. We'll wind up for today. Yeah, I'll share the notes also. Then we will catch up next week.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, Shivdev, you are most welcome. Take care, both of you. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.